Hello, I'm now going to be reviewing the next assignment, Chapter 6, Knowledge Check. This is going to be one of the first times you're going to be using the classroom resource, an ebook. If you were in my programming class in years past, we went through this ebook, Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we're kind of picking up on Chapter 6 at this particular time. This is a looping activity, so it's really gets to the core and shows you some new techniques with menus. So I'm in Canvas right now. I'm clicking on the Chapter 6 in Knowledge Check in Canvas. This is going to be the area where you're eventually going to upload your assignment at the end, but I'll review the assignment. We're going to be going to the Advanced Web Resource page, looking at the ebook. There's a data file that you're going to need to download, and the steps to build the program. As you can see right here, this is where the Visual Basic Chapter 6 Knowledge Checks is. And Knowledge Check means that there is going to be a few questions at the back of the chapter you have to turn in as well. And I look at the grade sheet with the rubric grade sheet. So if I just ask you guys, go ahead and get to the Advanced Programming Web Resource page by going right-click, Open New. I have it new if you're on the bookmark, and I'm already there. I'm scrolling down to Module 2, and right here where it says Chapter 6 Knowledge Check, right-click and Open New. All right, so as this opens up, please understand that you're going to be having to do a little bit of a reading and build, and probably for the most part all so far this year, because you've been working with my little snippet programs and activities to gain an understanding with what looping is all about. But let's take a peek at the grade sheet if you could. So if I open the grade sheet in the directions real quick and take a peek at that, you can see how the form is going to take time to build the form. I've given that 40%. The code then is the other 40%. And there's some questions here, okay? Questions pertaining to trying to complete these questions. So understand that there's a document that you will be answering, and I'll get on that document later, and putting your answers in and submitting it with the screenshots, okay? So if I go back to that, just an understanding that is a breakdown on 3 different areas with the grade sheet. So if you call this ebook or not, this ebook had like 2 sections to it. It had a chapter review. It kind of built the problems, and then it had a guided program development pages, okay? And you can see here that from page 378 to 433, that kind of got a more of a broad spectrum of building an application, but it gets to certain points and then pushes you on to the guided practice development. I really feel you need to focus in on the guided program development. If you're not too sure what's going on, then I'd say go back up to the top and find the area, and you can read a little bit more on what it's actually doing, okay? So let's go ahead and take a peek of the ebook if you can. Again, there's 2 sections to this. There's the main build, and there's a guided practice, guided program development area that I'm asking you guys to look at. So the ebook's right here. You can right-click and open new, and I think I very well may have mine open already. And if I jump to right here, all right, so the chapter's called Looping Structure. You can see some of the bullet line items that you're going to be getting into. And so this is the finished product right here, but you're going to be using a message box with this, okay, to enter in this data, okay? And you can see this form here has like a file menu, okay? And there's going to be drop-down menus where you can select some things, but you can see this is the data. This is the 10 speed enter checks, okay? So very well have an image and a title. All right, so simply scrolling down, this chapter starts trying to have you build right here on page 381, slowly starts building. There's not many controls on this as you build, and this is a process of where you're then trying to put in this menu, okay, going to the menu and trying to build that a little bit. So there's techniques that you need to follow in terms of the menu strip object. You need to get that menu strip in the contemporary tray. You see the contemporary tray, so you very well may be having to find the menu and tools item and dragging you know, and most certainly zoom in here to see what slide item as you're actually, so you pull it in the menu strip, okay? So as you scroll down, you're going to be building a form with menus on it, and look, file, edit, tool, help, okay, as an example, okay? So this is pretty broad spectrum, as you can see here, all right? The standard file menu. So as you go, I said it goes all the way down to page 433. Okay, so you slowly building it, and then you're going to get to page, so you get to page 433, and you can see one of the final steps, and it doesn't give you all, it doesn't really go through all the code, so to speak. So I'm asking you at some point in time, go ahead and jump to the area in the ebook that is right here, the guided program development, where you see part one, okay? And again, part one, you're trying to rename the form, getting the form in, you start creating this menu. So understand that this ebook is quite lengthy. Theoretically, it's from page 378 to 454, but 434 to 454 is that guided program development. So I need you to work through that to build this single application. So you have a form, you have code, and I'll look at the code in a second. But here it's going to call for an image. This is the image right here. I got the flyer box nested here, and then your finished product of what you're going to be doing the screenshots and spinning this in the screenshot. And I think I had this open. But if I go to the code, okay, drop down this a little bit more, okay, and you're going to be building this with menus, you're eventually going to get to the code. And I have a feeling that your code is going to be quite long, that one snippet very well may not serve up, all right? And I'm going to talk about that here shortly as well. When you get to page 452, again, you may see a header here, and I'm asking you still use the flyer box, but somewhat of the purpose that you can simply type in that's relevant to this program. So when trying to do maybe a snippet program, and you can see we do have an option strict on in the public class FRM radio that sometimes you may only can do a block. So maybe you only, even though this private sub enter speed button goes all the way down to here, right? So this actually structure of the print sub enter button, okay, it goes all the way down to the end sub here. So I really don't think you're going to be able to give me all the code in one snapshot. So technique on that is maybe chunking it, okay? Maybe just go to the variables, okay? The private sub to all the variables that are being used. And in the next private snippet, maybe you can get the internal comments all the way down to the enter button. If not, maybe get to this one loop. And then the third snippet, try to get the internal comment to the end sub, okay? So, you know, we have more snippet program. Maybe the third snippet or fourth snippet, you can bundle the last two, the clear and the exit button together, part of that structure there. So understand, I'm fully aware that the code will not snippet all in one screenshot, trying to find the best structure to copy and paste, but by all means have the flyer box and you know, start up above from the flyer box and go what you can only see on the screen, okay, of the Visual Basic program, okay. Try to maximize your snippet, okay, but obviously during runtime, try to give me a snippet of the menu that you're entering your data in one. So once you get done and you have the program, if I take a quick peek of the product here, there's the link here twice that you're going to have to get information into a Word document. So if I take a quick peek of that Word document, once it downloads, you're going to have to hit the enable button. So I have a form, an area here where you have to put the screenshot of the form. Area here, we're going to have to put the screenshot of the code. And understand, this table is going to open up. So you're going to have a couple images inside this area. And then the final, you're going to do your best to try to answer these 6 questions. And I've given the point value for these simple 6 questions. You can go to page 155 to 156 to find these questions in the ebook. So if I just jump there real quick back to page 55, because I should be almost there. It's right here, okay? a knowledge check. One, and I'm giving you 6 random questions out of this pool of 20 questions. You don't have to do all 20, just the 6 I've noted here in the Word document: 1, 4, 5, 14, 19, and 20. So once you get done with this document and you save it, following the directions, you're going to rename it Chapter 6 Knowledge Checks and put your first and last name on it. Then come back over to Canvas, and you'll be uploading this Word document, which will have the form, the code, and the questions down below in this Word document. So this, for the most part, concludes an overview of Chapter 6 Knowledge Check.